Hey guys, Mustang here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the new INT free-to-play Chiaotzu that has released today alongside the content for the Countdown campaign. The 22nd World Tournament DB Story event is where you farm this guy up, so you can get all his copies farmed up, get him rainbowed up, and then we're going to check him out here at the full rainbow and level 10 links to see how good he is going to be. He does have an Earthlings leader skill, 50%. I mean, that's standard for a free-to-play unit that doesn't have an easy A. Obviously, he's not going to be much used as a leader for many people, but that's not really his role anyway. His super attack is supreme damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. So, fairly straightforward. No attack or defense raise on super is a little bit unfortunate, but is what it is. Now, this Chiaotzu, being from the 22nd World Tournament, like Tien at that point in the story, he is an extreme unit. So this is the interesting thing about using him, especially on the Tau team, where he is getting the full 220 leader skill. He gets a buff, 30% attack and defense and 7% dodge chance up to 35 per extreme class ally on the team. So ideally that means you want to run him on a full extreme team, because like Tao's team can make use of characters like Path to Power Kid Goku, Glorio for some like really good support, but they are superclass characters, which means if you're using Chiaotzu on that team setup, you're actively making Chiaotzu worse by bringing superclass allies, which is unfortunate. And then per DB Saga or Earthlings category ally on the team, depending which category has more members, attack and defense 30%, chance to dodge 7% up to 35. So if you build a full extreme DB Saga or Earthlings team, including the friend, that means you have 7 characters, right? So that would be 14 times the attack and defense 30%, which means he could be up to 420% attack and defense. The dodge obviously only goes up to 35, so that means you actually only have to have 5 characters of that category. So we've got Hit on the team, but he's the only character on the team that isn't a DB Saga or Earthling. So Chiaotzu should have 70% chance to dodge, and then about, what, 390 attack and defense. When there's another DB Saga or Earthling ally in the same turn, he changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. Then he gets 100% attack and defense and 40% damage reduction when attacking. When he attacks with 12 or more key, he gets 100% attack and defense. And then the confusing part of his passive to me, which I really don't understand, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, stuns all enemies. So on turn 1, on turn 5, because it's once only, on turn 5, one time, he stuns all the enemies. But the reason why this is so confusing to me is that if you think about all the events where you actually can still stun the bosses, it's almost always only in the first phase. Like, there are some red zone stages where you can stun the phase 1 boss, battle hardened formidable foes. Like, most of the fights can be stunned in phase 1 only, but not phase 2. And the problem is, you're past all of those phases by the time you get to turn 5. Like, I can't think of any events. The only one somebody mentioned in chat is Battlefield, because some of the Battlefield bosses, if they can be stunned, especially if it's like the final boss, you might go for 5 turns. But other than that, like, I can't think of any events in the game where you would get to turn 5 and you're actually able to stun that boss. So, very confusing. Maybe they made it turn 5 because when he easy A's, it's going to change to like turn 3 or something. But even then, that's a bit like battle hardened formidable foes. Those first phases usually take like 2 turns. So then turn 3, you'd be in phase 2, where you now can't stun. So yeah, suffice to say, I don't really understand why this guy has stun on turn 5, but it is what it is. So yeah, he's basically just all about dodging. He doesn't provide support as well, which is unfortunate. He does have an active skill as well, Telekinesis. When all allies in the same turn are extreme, or when facing one enemy from turn 5, it does ultimate damage, greatly lowers attack and defense for 1 turn, seals the enemy for 1 turn, and then gives DB Saga or Earthling allies attack 16% and defense 27% for 1 turn. So he does have some support, but it's only on his active skill, which is like a one-use only thing. But yeah, let's see what he's looking like. So start of turn, he has 206k. Not exactly crazy. Remember, when he supers, he's going to get 100%. He's got no defense raise on his actual super attack effect. So that means he's going to have, what, 400k? Because I'm assuming, as there is a DB Saga or Earthling's ally in the same turn, it does say attacking. So does he get that straight away, or does he not get it until they attack? Because then maybe he's looking at, what, like 600k defense instead of 400, which is still not great. But he's backing it up with a 70% chance to dodge. The 40% damage reduction is not really anything like that crazy either, really. Like 40% damage reduction is good, but it's not like insanely high. Turn it down a bit. Yeah, I don't know. 200k defense, that's more than Prime Battle TN's EZA. That is true, actually. His start of turn defense on turn 1's like 100k. That's the other funny thing as well, though, is when we saw... Was that 10? That wasn't 10 mil, right? Oh, maybe it was. Because, yeah, there's no way General Blue's only hitting for 1 mil. Okay, so he hit for 10 mil. That's not bad. For a free-to-play unit. Because surely, if it was 1 million, then that's just absolute, like, trash garbage. Let me check here. I'm going to go... Let's go back on the stream and then pause it. Because, yeah, like, surely it can't be as low as 1 million. Like, that would be absolutely horrendous. Right, so let's do... I kind of want to get TN and Chiaotzu onto the same rotation, so let's float TN off here. Do this. Yeah, so 033... 10,334,000. Yeah, it was 10 million. It was 10,334,000. So, I mean, for a free-to-play character, like a 10 million attack stat, that's not bad at all. Obviously, in terms of like the grand scheme of the meta and stuff, 10 million is obviously not like an insane attack stat nowadays, which is kind of crazy to even think about. But yeah, for a free-to-play unit, 10 million attack stat, and then he has 70% chance to dodge. I mean, it's going to be dodge or die against all of the difficult enemies. But I mean, we've definitely seen extreme character, like free-to-play characters hitting for less. Yeah, exactly. That 10 million is more than Prime Battle. So far, in terms of like turn 1 performance, the free-to-play Chiaotzu is better than Prime Battle LRTN's EZA.
With a stance that would bring out my full potential, it'd be this.
I never watched like really any of Super like dubbed, so it's always very funny to me hearing like Jotaro's voice whenever like Hit is speaking. So yeah, I want to try and get some extra. I mean, he doesn't have. He's not going to have a ton of extra links with TN anyway, but I think considering like no big support units or anything on the rotation, because Chiaotzu's not on mission execution, so he doesn't get a buff from General Blue. Oh well, should have realised that. I'll just keep these two together, I think. Man, these rainbow orbs, though. Let's do that. Yeah, I definitely have not seen any of the Tournament of Power dubbed. So, like, any of the Tournament of Power characters, all the Universe 11 characters... Brienne, like all of those, and anyone from the Tournament of Power only. Like, I haven't heard their dub voice. And yeah, the top thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, even in the games, like in English, his name is spelled T-O-P-P-O. Like, how on earth in the dub are you just going to say, oh yeah, his name's Top? But yeah, the dub, for, like, I have always enjoyed dub of anime. It makes it easier to watch, especially if you're doing something else at the same time. But, like, I got very put off straight away the Super, like, especially the Goku Black arc. I absolutely hate Rosé's English voice. The Goku Black one is, the like base Goku Black one's fine, but not a fan of the Rosé one. Okay. Now, do I want to just keep Tien and Chiaotzu together? So they don't even really get... In fact, he doesn't actually get any extra links from Tien. Actually, does he get guidance of the Dragon Balls? Yeah, okay, so he gets guidance of the Dragon Balls from Tien that he doesn't get from Tao, which is 20% attack and 7% crit chance. Okay. 217k defense on this turn. Alright. Let's do that. And then do that. Right, so TN can tank fine in slot 1. 24 mil. And we'll see what Chiaotzu's got here. So slightly higher stats on this turn. Yeah, 10. Basically the same. I mean, to be honest, for a free-to-play character that you could throw on this team... Oh, here we go, though. This is the true test. There you go. He got the dodge. Because if he doesn't dodge that, he's just instantly dead. So... Yeah, W's for Jade Rex for gifting a channel membership. Shout out to you. Shout out to Girth Jr. for receiving it as well. Appreciate you guys. But yes, I mean, for a free-to-play character, like, he's doing his job. Like, 10 million attack stats, not bad. He dodged the super. It's a shame that he's not providing support without the active skill. And if he was providing support, I think he could probably be a very viable, like, go-to option for this Tao team. The problem is, like I said at the beginning, is by having to run a full extreme team, or almost full extreme team, in order for him to get his buffs, that limits you then being able to run characters like Path to Power Kid Goku or Glorio, who I would say, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, right? Like, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me, but like Glorio and Path to Power Kid Goku are both better than this Chiaotzu, right? So if you're going to run one of them on the team, you're going to be running the Goku or the Glorio, right? So Chiaotzu is good. Like, he's a solid option for the team. I think the fact that he's extreme maybe hurts him a little bit because he's kind of only good on this team. Like, you can't run him on Yamcha's team, for example, where he would get the full leader skill, I think, or 200%, because Yamcha's a superclass character. So if you're running double Yamcha, that's already 2 superclass characters on the team. I'm off to bed. Apathy is but one of Jade Rex's targets. I appreciate you, Jade Rex. Thank you. Have a good one. But yeah, I mean, he seems pretty good. Like I say, for a free-to-play unit, I can't complain too much. I mean, he is going to be dodge or die against the toughest bosses, which is potentially an issue. But this should be a good turn, actually. Let's go ahead and use... So, we got a couple of extra links. Why did we not have this active before? Or is it a key-based one? Yeah, attack 15% when performing a super, okay. Because if your characters have enough key at the start of the turn, then you can see these links active, like Kamehameha and stuff. So let's go ahead and use his active skill, which, remember, is ultimate damage, greatly lowers attack and defense for 1 turn, seals for 1 turn. We can't do either of those things to this boss. DB Saga of Earthlings, allies, attack and defense. Self-excluded, though, so he's not going to buff himself, but he is going to buff Tien. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so not exactly a crazy amount of damage, but these guys now get a buff. That puts Tien up to 1.5 million, and then we can put him in slot 2, use his active skill, mean, it's going to be a pretty funky turn.
There's nothing. I'm aiming. Right for the stakes. Try beam.
Big old tri-beam. No crit though, sadly. Now he's at 2.5 million. Okay, so let's do that. Do that. Do that. All right, here we go. Yeah, Beefy, how's it going? 82 million attack stat. It's pretty good. Alright, what's Chiaotzu got? We got the support from Mai as well. 11.8 million. Not bad. Oh god, here we go. He didn't dodge. Well, unfortunately, I was going to say we could probably end the showcase here soon anyway, but that right there is the... Excuse me. That right there is the unfortunate downside. Yeah, he is a free-to-play character. Even though he had 40% damage reduction, he took 1.6 million. Because against any of these tough bosses, like, he is going to be dodge or die. And I know people always use that defense of like, well, he's a free-to-play character. You shouldn't be using him against the toughest bosses. But, like, what events are you really going to be using him in? I like to try him out in these difficult events just to see how well they do. And bear in mind that obviously this Future Saga stage that we did isn't even the hardest Red Zone stage. I just think it's a fun one to test out teams. But I think Chiaotzu is decent for a free-to-play character. As I said, he relies completely on dodge as his defense, which is unfortunate. The turn 5 stun thing seems completely pointless, but, you know, him dropping between sort of 10 to 12 million attack is pretty good. On the active skill turn, that support is definitely helpful. I think if he had support in his passive all the time, then he would be, I would say, a success as a like good free-to-play unit, because you'd have a reason to run him on the team because he's giving that support like every time he's on rotation. Whereas because he's only supporting with the active skill turn, he's not really doing a lot in those early turns except for dropping the 10 million attack stat, and then you're hoping that you get the dodges so he doesn't die. So in that same vein, as we've mentioned them both before already multiple times, like Path to Power, Kid Goku or Glorio would just be better for Tao's team anyway. I think this extreme like restriction thing kind of hurts him for the teams that he could be used on, but it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think of the free-to-play INT Chiaotzu. Obviously the expectation's always a little bit lower for free-to-play characters anyway, but he's definitely not terrible. We've seen worse free-to-play characters for sure. So yeah, not bad at all. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.